Hey, welcome back to the table. Between the last video and this one, a viewer pointed out one of those situations where the rulebook says exactly what you need to know, but not in a place where you would ever look for it. So, the particular card in question is this ongoing card that our paladin played, the Light of the Illuminary. And here you can see it's an action that's ongoing. So you play this card as an action, and then when a hero uses it, they can discard an inspiration to move up to 2 spaces and perform an action. So I thought, well, that's great. So I'll just use this for the rest of the game. And yeah, I have more than one copy of this, but it can be played on any hero. So, I have one copy I can play for myself, one copy I can play on someone else. What an awesome ability. Well, if you look up the word use in the instructions, it's in the rulebook on page 20, and I'm just going to read this to you. Hopefully, that'll be enough. This effect can be resolved by the hero controlling the card with this keyword. The controlling hero must discard the card to resolve the effect. So this was a one-time use, and so this card needs to be discarded. And there was one other thing I missed. I was in a bit of a rush to try to wrap up the video last night. When we were going through these quest cards, as you know, we start here and we go along. Well, the mirror actually had an activation effect, and Yorick is sitting next to the mirror, and that activation effect is that he was able to put a shield token on his character. So we went ahead and did that, and I think that's it. That wraps up the errata that I'm aware of so far. And so what's our situation today? Well, bad things happen when certain decks run out. The Gert deck in particular, the Scheme deck, is sort of like a timer in this game. And we've been trying to open rooms like mad, because that's another timer, and it's one that we have to burn through in order to get to our objective. But I hope you'll agree with me that, let's look at Karen. Karen has in her threat deck, and I know this is a big mess, but we have these two cards which are nasty, this guy who's nasty, and this one, which is also nasty, and this one. So she has 1, 2, 3, 4 minions that are active under her threat bar. Ulrich only has the smell card, and that's it. So he's actually doing quite well, and we're okay from that perspective. But Ulrich has one guy to kill, and basically he could possibly go into a new room. But over here we have quite the deadly situation. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minions that are alive, and all of them are pretty nasty. So without further ado, let's get started. The Ulrich situation, they're pretty far away for me to try to do anything other than just open a door and move into the next room. One of the things I can maybe do is just stay in that room and let's use this as a breathing step, right? And let's take a pause. I know it's going to let the timers of the game start to run out, but maybe we just need to pause a bit. And the problem with Ulrich's situation up here is, I'm trying to zoom in. The problem with Ulrich up there is that, yes, there is only one guy alive, but I'm going to burn through my actions to kill that guy. And if I go and open the door, then I'm just allowing another set of minions to charge through and damage Ulrich even more than he already is. Ulrich does have some damage on him. He's got 5 damage, in fact, and then the mage Q there has 4. We do have a healing potion, so we're not, in the worst of situations. But I'm thinking I want to go first with those two, because those are more straightforward. Let's kill this guy who's remaining, and then let's get out of dodge, right? And maybe we're going to just stand by the door and we'll open the door the next round. But that's the idea. So who's next to Ulrich? It is this guy. And you can tell because of the red thing at the bottom. And this guy has 3 of the stench tokens on him, so he's pretty bad in that regard. He also has a shield, and then 2 shields here. So we got to do 3 hits to this guy to even hurt him. And we're going to go ahead and start with the mage Q. And, oh, something just beeped at me. Yep, the camera just disconnected. I don't like it when that happens. There we go. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and try to resolve that. And yes, let's start with Q and see what kind of damage we can do with Q. Q is our mage. And I'm going to grab some dice here. I don't even know where the rest of our dice are. Let me find... There's a third one. Oh, I found them all. Okay. So Q gets to roll 3 dice. Yeah, I'm going to let him stay where he's at. And so here we got 1. We got our 2 damage here. And then we have a focus. If I spend all 3 of those, all I'm going to do is destroy the shield token. I'm going to do no damage at all to the actual guy. And I am going to do that. I'm going to spend a focus token and do exactly that. So this particular monster right here is going to lose his shield token, but he's still not dead. He has 2 health, so I'm going to have to do the rest with Ulrich. Okay, so I'm looking at Ulrich's cards here, and we do have things like Valiant Stand, stuff like that. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend this. Oops. Oh, my camera disconnected. There we go. You guys weren't able to see the dice rolls or anything. This was the dice roll from the last one, and then this is what I'm doing, is I'm spending this right here. Sorry about that. Camera disconnected on us. So, the card basically says that if I spend a diamond, I could put an inspiration on someone. So I'm going to put an inspiration on Ulrich, because he currently has 0, and this makes it 1. So we'll do that right now. And let's go ahead and re-roll this. And we got the swirly swirl. Alright, so now I'm looking at his cards. We have this one. For each success, choose a hero within range and gain an inspiration. And then each hero within range may discard 1 inspiration to deal a damage to an adjacent enemy. Now, to deal a damage sort of sucks, because if they have armor, it just absorbs damage. Suffering damage bypasses armor, but dealing damage does not. So it's not the best thing in the world. I'm just looking to see if there's anything that will let him move and attack. There is Sacred Ground, which lets him do a search. So he can do a search, and then everybody can discard an inspiration to heal 2 damage. That's actually pretty cool. And here we go. Each hero may discard 1 inspiration to move up to 2 spaces and then attack. And it's going to be an attack with a red. And it says each hero. It doesn't say, each hero within range. And then with the little water symbol, or the air symbol, gain an inspiration and deal damage to an enemy with range. Unfortunately, I don't have that. But if I can figure out how to change the altar die, that might actually help. So is there a way to change the altar die? That's the next question. And I'm looking. Yes. He has Valerie's message. Right here. You may discard 1 focus to change 1 altar die to the result of your choice. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to play Leading the Charge. And what that does is I'm going to discard an inspiration to move up to 2 spaces, then attack. And then I can gain an inspiration and deal 1 damage to an enemy within range. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to lose a focus. He's down to 1. To change this swirly swirl die to the air symbol, which is that, and I'm going to use that to deal an extra damage. And as you can see, I got another air symbol. And oh boy, phone disconnected. The camera is disconnecting again. What's going on? All right. Okay, we're back in business. I don't know what's going on there, folks. It tends to do that sometimes. So now here's my next question. This is another rule dilemma. You may discard one inspiration to move up to 2 spaces, then attack with the red. With what range? This range here? I'm assuming it's that range of 1. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, and it says each hero. So that means Karen can do it as well. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And let's start with him. He gets to move 2 spaces, which is perfect. So he's going to move 1, 2, and then attack with this. And this was not an action. This was a feat. It was an action. So that's his first of 3 actions. So I'm going to mark that. And let's go ahead and resolve that. And his red attack, of course, is 3 dice, which is really good. And there you see we have 2 hits and a crit. And then there's 4 hits. So 2 armor gets absorbed and 2 hits go through. And this particular guy only needed 2 damage. And so we got him. Alright, so then we get a supply. Gets added. And yes, this Raglan Blooder is done. Alright, so this guy is taken off the board. And right now I'm sitting, basically, I could open the door and try to go into the next room, which really will create a situation where, sorry, I am getting disconnections from my camera devices here, and it's getting rather annoying. There we go. Okay, so I don't know, we've been working just fine over the previous videos, so nothing's changed. And then all of a sudden we're getting issues. Okay, anyways, to finish my thoughts, Ulrich has 2 actions left. So I could try to open that door and go into the room. One of my actions is just going to open the door because I'm going to have to spend a move action to do that. And then I would have 1 and only 1 action left to do any actual attacking. The feature, as you can see, is right there along the wall, is where it's going to spawn. Let me get out my pen so I can point across the table. This is where the feature is going to be, but the bad guy is going to be way down there. And if I'm standing here, okay, I do move 1, 2, and let's say I even go 3, right? And maybe I'll be next to the feature, which is good for Ulrich, right? The bad guy will spawn, and I'll be standing here, and I could maybe go 1, 2, 3. I won't even be next to the bad guy to hit him. So that's my dilemma. But I will be next to the feature, which could help me, get more clues. We're burning through the deck. We're getting closer to the end. So I don't know how important it is to rush through this. So the other thing I could do is just spend my final 2 actions trying to get rid of the stink card. And that's actually what I'm going to do, because I'm probably going to build up some focus tokens along the way, and I'm going to need them because I'm carrying 2 clues right now. And so what do I mean by the stink card? I mean this one. And here you can see I have to do an intellect test, and I have to get a 1 to pass, and I have 1 progress on it, and I need 3. So I'm going to use my next 2 actions and hopefully get 2 more progress on it, and I can get rid of the card. So his intellect is 2, so we're only going to get to roll 2 dice. And there you go. I got 2 successes, and I'm really hoping to get some focus tokens out of this deal. And in this case, I did not. But I do get to put a progress on the event, and I'm up to 2. And now he's on his final action. So we're going to go once again. And there we go. I got a crit again. And there we go. We got a focus token out of the deal. He is now sitting with 2, which is going to be, I think, just enough. So, alright, so we got 2 focus tokens, and we actually got enough progress to get rid of this event card, which is a doozy, pun intended. Curious Odor finally has the 3 progress on it, and here you can see the little diamond thing, draw a threat card. I may have missed that a few times. Got to pay more attention to those altar dice on these threat cards. Okay, so but that burned up his whole turn to do that, and I don't think that was a wasted thing, because I wasn't sure I really wanted to go into the next room yet. And now, one thing I forgot to do, I sort of jumped ahead. He played a card that let all heroes move and attack, not just himself. So Karen here gets to do the same thing. And I'm near the end of the table, so I have to put the camera in a different spot here. And I think, oh, that's a really nice angle. Okay, so Karen here, if I can move this door out of the way, Karen is sitting there. She does get to move 2 spaces and attack. So I have a couple choices. I can attack these guys here, or I can turn around and attack these guys, which are piling up there. Either way, something needs to be done. But if I'm standing next to this, I can pick up the clue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move 2 spaces to here, and I'm going to attack. And we're going to attack this way, and I'm going to try to get this green guy. Now, unfortunately, it's a red dice attack, because it's a might attack, and her might is 2. So not too exciting, but it's something. And I'm going to move my camera further down, and you can see I'm bumping all my trays here, but this is actually working out really nice, the way it's hanging off the edge of the table here. So we're going to go ahead and go after this green guy, and the green guy is this one right here. And we're zoomed in way too much. So you can see we got 2 damage on him. He's just like the other one. He has 2 armor, and he has an armor token on him. And so I'm only going to get to roll 2 dice. And they're both focus. Ugh, I only have 1 focus token on me. So I'm just going to accept defeat and take 2 focus tokens. But that doesn't count as one of her actions, so that's good. We at least got 2 focus tokens out of the deal. Now it's our turn, and I am going to start with Karen. And, oh, I forgot that the Illuminary Pendant is something that Ulrich could have used. So we could have added a crit, or each hero within range gains an inspiration. That altar die doesn't exist, so he couldn't use that this turn, so no worries there. Okay, so back to this. Let's figure out what Karen's going to do. And since Ulrich ended his turn, I'm going to draw his card for him. This was lead by example. He can move up to 3 spaces and attack. Before rolling, he may discard an inspiration to reduce the defense by 1. That's a pretty awesome card. Okay, now we're going to go to her. Expert Tracker. That's a reaction. Surviving the Prey. Play this card on yourself. Each enemy within range moves up to 3 spaces. Each hero, or move either 1 enemy within range or 1 snare 2 spaces. We don't have a diamond available. This one's a nice 8 range one. And here we go. We're actually next to an enemy, so we could try to do Exploiting Strike. But here's what's crazy. That is not as good for us as the green is. But if the target suffers any damage, they move 2 spaces. And then we can place a snare token within 3 spaces of us, which is pretty cool. That might be the reason you do this. And we actually have 2 of those. So I'm going to do, for my first 2 actions, we're going to try that. We're going to play this twice to get 2 snare tokens out. Alright. 2 dice versus 3 dice. I don't see that much of a difference. It's just 1 die, but we're going to try it. So I'm going to attack this green guy here. And there you go. I got 2 hits, which is going to get through the armor. And then there's the 3rd hit. So 1 hit gets through the armor. And I need to So one hit gets through the armor. Nope, it doesn't even get through the armor. I'm just going to set this. I just destroyed this. Okay, so that wasn't very good. But what it lets me do is the target did not suffer any damage, so I can't do that. But I'm going to do the little win symbol and place a snare token in an empty space within 3 spaces of me. And that snare token is going to go right there. So we're going to snare them right before they attack the priest. Okay, so we're going to try again. This is action number 2. And there's 2 successes. That's only enough to get through the armor and nothing else. So that was a big waste. And yes, that is a big difference between 2 dice and 3 right there. Alright, so let's do the third one. We're going to do this attack right here. Oh, and then I need to re-roll this die. Alright, so we got our diamond. Ooh, we were looking for a diamond. Why were we looking for a diamond? Now I got to figure that out. Oh, right here. We can gain a focus. So we're going to attack with a cross shot. We're going to attack the same green guy. We got to get these guys out of here because they got way too much stench tokens on them. So we're going to do this cross shot. We get to attack with the green. Then we can discard a focus or exhaust the card. Well, if we don't discard a focus, then we can't use this, which will gain a focus. That part's really weird, actually. Yeah, it's super weird. We're just going to exhaust the card. So we're going to go ahead and attack. 3 dice. Here we go. We got 2 hits, and this is a crit. So we're going to grab a 4th die. And we got ourselves 1, 2, 3 hits, and then possibly a 4th. And if you look over there, 2 armor gets absorbed. And he needs 3 total hits to get killed. If I do 4 hits, I'm only going to do 2. I will go ahead and spend a focus to make it 4 hits. And in doing so, we did 2 damage to this guy, but it's not enough to kill him. He's really tough. That 2 armor is really hard to get through. And our turn is at an end, which that blows even more, to be quite honest. And I'm having camera issues again. There we go. Alright, I will use the this to give myself a focus. So I at least have that. Yeah, I think I got a little too cute with playing my cards. I probably should have just done 3 attacks that had 3 dice each. I think that would have been a better outcome than what I chose to do. But that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and draw her card. Whoops. That's not her card. This is. Another Surviving the Prey card, which looks like a useful one. I just can't do anything about it yet. Alright, but we still have Huey and the priest. So Huey can go ahead and attack this guy with 3 dice, and we're going to go ahead and do that. It's going to take everything we have to defeat this guy, and here you can see we have 3 successes, which is going to do 1 final damage to him, and that's enough to kill him. So we got rid of him. He had the least stink on him, so I don't know how helpful that was, but we did get rid of him. And unfortunately, none of these guys were on... This was actually Ulrich's guy. Oh, holy buckets, so sorry about that. That's what I get for putting this on the edge of the table. Alright, so what I was about to do or say is I'm getting a supply, which that part's fine. The part that hurts is all these guys that are still alive are going to get stink tokens added to them because of the event card. This is a really difficult guy to kill, though, so I'm glad I got him gone, if you will. But this is getting bad. This is getting very, very bad, and I'm not doing a good job of managing my actions here. So now it's the cleric's turn, and I was going to heal with the cleric because he's going to get pounded right now. With him standing by the doorway, he actually might save himself a little bit. If he were to attack, he does get to roll 3 dice, and he'd be rolling 3 dice against a yellow guy who has no damage on him whatsoever. I'm going to go ahead and attack. I think I really, really need to do that right now because we got to start killing things. And if we don't kill things, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. So he's going to attack this guy in yellow. So let's do that right now. And you can see I got 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits plus a focus. And that's a crit. And there's a 4 hits. So that's 4 hits plus a focus, which would be 5. He has 1 armor. So I'm either doing 3 damage to him or 4 damage to him. And now who am I going after? I'm going after the yellow guy, which is right here. He's got 1 armor plus this. So let's say I just do 3 hits to him. This would go away for 1, and then this would be 2 and 3. So then I'm just deciding whether I want to spend a focus to put a 3rd damage on him. And my answer is yes, I will. And so I'll put a 3rd damage on him. And he's still 4 away from dying, but it's at least something. I feel like I made a huge mistake though, because the stink tokens are gonna get to him. But there's only 1 guy in the room with him, so that actually might work out fine. The heroes are now at the end of their turn, and that's unfortunate. The next part is it's time to, we got to resolve the threats. So Ulrich has 0 threats in his area. We killed and wiped out everything. So if you look up there, it's completely empty, so we're good there. Now the problem is Karen has these 2 events, this minion, this minion, this minion. She has 4 minions and 2 events. The 2 events trigger first, and every event is going to put 2 of these on each minion, and that's what I'm saying is going to hurt. So this minion here has 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 6 stench tokens on him, and then this one has 5 stench tokens, and then this one has 5, and this one's going to have 4. Now the only one that's in a room with them is the one who has 4. And so this is the only one that's going to hurt them this turn. And that part's good, because everybody's in this room here, and those other minions are in these other rooms. So that part we're getting lucky with. But yes, so we went through, and so now the red minion activates first. He has 4 movement, and he engages and inflicts 5. And I am having disconnects from the camera. Like right now, you can't see my camera moving. So I'm going to end the video here and reboot the computer, see if that helps. And I appreciate the patience, and as always, thank you for watching, and stay awesome.